all been here. Should we go up there?
You still haven't told me anything.
I don't
mean,
know
the whole
anything.
idea.
I told you I know nothing.
She don't know nothing.
But I actually don't know a lot about history of anything.
Well, but you know what your sisters were like when they were younger.
Not very much. They were gone most of the time.
Well, you know what your
Lavon
parents
left.
were like.
Yeah.
You know what Arne or Orvie was like.
Mean.
Well, see, that's what I want to know.
No, but I mean, yeah, Gerald and I and Orvin fought a lot. We did. I used to empty the silverware drawer, throwing it at him and stuff. But
So
it,
how old were you when the house burned?
12, about 12. Yeah, I was
Okay.
in junior high. I was just going 7th. I was in 7th, going
Okay.
into the 8th.
So you don't
So-
remember a whole lot about
No,
the
I
farm
don't,
per
no.
se. Yeah.
I remember like when we were kids when they had that big storm and we had to pick up corn. You know, had to out in the field by hand because it all had fallen, and you remember those and stuff. But I wasn't there for when they had beets.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
You
when
never got
we
to work in
had,
the fields.
No, never
Yeah.
had to do any
I
of that.
met you in the 7th grade then, right?
8th grade or something. Yeah, I came to rake school then.
That was a
But
big
you know what was the
mistake.
weirdest thing though? After a house burnt down, we had a dog, and I'm sure I had some cats or whatever.
Well, there was that dog in that video.
That picture, but I had a black and white one at the time when the house burned. They never took me out there to see after the house burned. I never ever was out there. I don't know why, and nobody ever told me what happened to my dog. I'm no kidding though.
Yeah,
I said,
no.
"What happened to Spot?" One day, Mom, I don't know, nobody knew.
Had enough things to worry about.
But but they never ever took me back out there. I never saw the house in ashes.
Yeah.
I never saw it till it was all plowed over. I don't quite understand that. Why nobody ever
Well,
took
it was
us
probably
out there.
very upsetting for them
For
to go
them.
back. You know.
Maybe that's what it was.
I mean, you can imagine.
Because it was their dad's family
Yeah,
home.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was.
And it was a nice big house. I mean, it was really, nice woodworking. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a nice big house. But, that was, I think that kind of traumatized me for a while. I really do think so. Because once you got home, I want you to know.
Yeah.
And nobody
Oh, yeah.
says anything. Sorry, we're living now these smoky smelling boxes.
When you moved to Rake, where did you live?
There was some little house in town where Hanishes lived.
So that's what. When the place burned, you moved immediately to Rake.
Yeah, we moved
Okay.
to Ray.
All right.
I think we were at
So you
Lavon's
must have
school.
had to change. Did you
Yeah, then I had to change schools.
schools, right?
Yeah, I was in Frost
Yeah.
for a year and a half. And we had just switched from country schools, too.
Yeah.
See, I went to country school 6 years.
Right. So
And
you were just
then-
getting started in Frost, and then
Yeah,
suddenly.
and then I had to go to Ray.
Yeah.
Went to Ray. So that was, we waited till, I don't remember what time of year the house burned down, but we waited till after Christmas vacation, I think it was, before we switched to Ray. So,
But they continued. Well, actually, Isaac wasn't living there at the time, was
No.
he? No, they had already
they
moved.
were in northern,
Yeah.
in northern Minnesota, Elk River.
So did your dad continue to farm that land?
He kept going out, kept
Yeah.
farming.
Okay. 'Cause you
Till-
you didn't really have. I mean, you never had a barn per se, did you? Did you?
Well,
you had
we
more
did
sheds.
before Isaac moved there. I mean, before Selmers moved over there.
Yeah.
Because then we had both sides of the road.
Right.
And then we had a barn and all that.
But a real barn or.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, we had a barn and, because Dad there were,
Well, you had horses,
he had
I know.
hogs and, yeah.
Okay. But it was a real barn, I mean, like our barn, my barn.
Yeah, it was
mean-
a regular barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just a
Yeah.
shed.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't. No, it was a barn. I remember it.
Because I've never
It
seen
was-
any pictures
No, but see,
of
that's
anything that looks
after-
like.
After Selmers moved over, they took that part of and we just had those sheds, I think. Remember one because on Selmer side was the place where the Mexicans that worked the
Right,
beets
right.
lived. But see, now I can't remember the Mexicans,
Okay.
because just slightly I can remember, because I remember that little boy, it was so gross, he had, the little Spanish boy must have had cerebral palsy or whatever,
Okay. Yeah.
because he was laying in his little basket, flies out of him.
Mm.
I remember that, they were good to him, but they didn't know how to take care of him.
No.
But see, I don't remember when that little Spanish boy got run over or anything. But I was probably outside. But
You're probably
see,
too,
there
you're
was
too,
so,
just too young to.
yeah, I just didn't comprehend. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't. But otherwise, see, Levon left home when she was 14 or 15, and Norma, I don't know what time. I hardly remember living at home with your mother at
Right.
all.
Well, your mom left when she was like 14.
Yeah, and so did Levon
Okay.
and Betty. Arlene didn't. She worked all the time, but she lived home till she graduated and went to school. So, and Orvin lived at home till he went to the service, and Gerald. But then we were in Rake, so. But anyhow, I remember when Levon and them would come home, I'd have a fit when they left. I remember crying as they're going back to work and stuff. But I actually can't remember much about Betty or Norma at home. Just one I can
Well, they were.
think, like,
Yeah, I mean, they were gone when you were.
yeah, because like I said, Betty's 10 years older, and your mother was like 12 years older
Right.
than
Right.
about. So,
I can remember when they moved your folks' house into town,
oh yeah, from
when the house was placed.
yeah, we moved moved a house into Rake then. Bought a house from farmer, a bigger house, because we had that
Oh,
little house.
Okay.
After the fire, we did that.
Yeah, I remember that house that
Yeah.
moved in.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I thought it was just like a palace, because
Well,
it had running water and a bathroom. Boy, it's funny what you can get used to. But even though it didn't have water, lights, I never felt like we were poor.
Yeah.
Everybody else said, look at those poor little ball-down kids. But it never really bothered me. I never really wanted anything that I didn't have.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Oh.
didn't. We just weren't that way.
So even after you got electricity, and you never, even then, didn't have running water.
No. I still had that.
To me, I was talking to, I can't remember who, Betty or Levon, and just talking about when they're washing clothes, they would have to carry
The
like
water?
20 buckets of water
Oh, yeah.
back and forth across the road.
And then heat them on the stove in a big boiler.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I mean, can you
Yeah,
imagine?
a lot of
remember,
art,
like Mom, how your folks
Or having
didn't
little
have
kids. I mean,
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you think of having
Oh.
all your kids with no running
no
water?
I don't know what
Keeping
you
them-
do. I remember we used to set a big tub out in the yard and let it warm up. Did they ever tell
the
you
sun?
that? Yeah, the sun would warm it up. Then you could take a bath in there. I remember always brushing my teeth outside with a glass of water in the summer. But we were never dirty. I mean, we were not dirty. I mean, Mom always made sure we were clean. We were not dirty kids. Because we're all, I don't know.
So what was
So-
she like when she was younger as a mother?
Mom?
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't a kindly old lady all her life.
No. No, but I never ever got a spanking from my dad. He never touched me in my life. Mom used to scream a lot. One of those screamers. Probably pull my hair or something. But they were just, they were not. You can never say you were an abused kid. They were never like
You probably
that.
left the child rearing to
Sure,
her.
and she just screamed.
You went out to work in the
Hollered.
fields.
Yeah.
And
But we were outside all the time. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding you. In the winter, I'm sure. But I know she's going nuts when Gerald and I and Orvin would fight. The other kids are gone, but we'd fight all the time. But that's normal. Our kids fought. But Mom was gone a lot too, though, because she worked in the factory. She worked too a lot of things. So, but anyhow,
This is after you moved. She worked. She didn't work.
well, she worked when we lived on the farm too.
Really?
Yeah.
So what did?
So when the older kids took care of us, she worked in. I think she worked in the factory, and
what
she
factory?
corn factory in Blue Earth.
Like a cannery?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Green Giant.
Green Giant.
Really?
It wasn't Green Giant then, was it? Oh yeah, it was Green Giant
Yeah, I
then.
think so.
Now it's Swift or something. I don't
Shanks
know.
or something, yeah.
But anyhow, yeah, she worked, and then she also, yeah, I remember her coming home.
Did
with
Annie
her.
work then with her?
I
Or?
think Annie worked some too.
Okay.
But I remember her coming home with her white dish towel tied around her head and those dirty plastic aprons, because I worked in the factory too, years later. But yeah, and then she'd also go help somebody that was having thrashing run.
Mm-hmm.
She'd go help those people
Yeah.
do dishes or
Right.
cook or
Do all this
something.
stuff.
And she worked stuff more so. She was gone quite a bit, I think. So, but she was more of a yeller.
So that's why my mother hated the farm, because she was the one that was left.
Take care of kids all the time and stuff. Yep. Yeah, I never realized Norma hated it that bad.
Oh, she
but
hated it.
Yeah,
I,
she didn't.
she
it
wouldn't talk.
wasn't
She
her
wouldn't
thing.
even talk about.
Oh, you're kidding?
No.
About living on the farm?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, funny.
And then here, she's the one that Grandpa and Grandma Valdo just babied her just terrible. Our little Norma, oh, they babied her so bad. She was just the queen of everything. When she was little, that was. 'Cause she was the first one, see. Shirley was before her.
Yeah, I was going to say
But
she.
in our family,
Right.
so but they always. Even now.
And Leon was right behind her. So
Yeah.
it was Shirley, Mom, and then Leon.
Yeah, yeah. Weren't Lee and Norma the same age? I think they were in the same class.
Well, they're the same class, but
Yeah.
wasn't. I think he was after.
Oh, is he
or-
a little younger?
Actually, I shouldn't say. I don't know for sure.
I can't remember that either, but anyhow, it was. But I do remember Isaac and Annie's two youngest kids, but then they moved, so but they were. I used to take care of them. But Norma was so much. She was just fussy too, more fussy, and we were all kind of haphazard. But no, I don't think she did like it. But anyhow, it's funny, even in the later years, they would, well, if Norma was ever going to come home or something, all the old aunts, is Norma coming? Is Norma coming? They used to drive the other ones. Was Norma here? And Dad too. They said they never hardly saw Dad shed a tear till Norma was there. Must have been the last time he saw her. And then when she left, Dad was crying, they said. And Dad never, he wasn't that too
Yeah.
much that way.
Yeah.
Of course, after a stroke maybe, but they said Dad was crying when she left.
Hmm.
I was glad he wasn't around when she died. That's terrible to say, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
it's tough for a parent. We know.
Yeah.
It's not easy to lose one of
No.
your kids. No. Anyhow. But we used to really have fun though. We played outside, and like I said, I never felt disadvantaged at all, ever. But we would do operettas and stuff. I don't know where we learned about
Yeah, Arlene was telling me
operettas.
about
Yeah,
back
we
in the
did.
woods, or
Well, we did operettas. We had
Yeah.
this hill and Shirley them or whatever. We were very cultured.
Yes.
No, but I'm not kidding. Who else was? Shirley was really, she was really brilliant. Well, everybody in the family read and like stuff like that,
Mhm.
was. So we, other kids probably didn't know what operetta was either. But we put on these curtain things. And, I remember Patty and I baptizing our dolls. Arlene did too, she said. But did she ever tell you when LaDonna came over, said, "Do you want to go ice skating?" And all they do is put on their leather shoes because they didn't have skates. And go out and skate in the field where there was ice. We were always laughing about that. Yeah, Donna would say, "Hey, you want to go ice skating?"